So explain to me the experience, how it's coming to play over someone that is doing the job better than him. But they will favor him because they believe the 20 years that he has is more than you, that you are just a baby in the industry. Do you get it? So experience matters. It does not matter. I respect. See, if you cannot deliver now, I don't care how long you've been in the industry. It doesn't matter to me. It's just numbers, in as far as I'm concerned.
Everybody, you're welcome to Just for Women Africa. My name is Olaleko Amusa, the founder of Just for Women Africa, and today we're on a Zoom interview all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, and we have with us Kafayat Bakare, who is into broadcasting in Nigeria. You're welcome to the show, Kafayat.
Hi, good afternoon. I was about to say good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon. All right. Yeah, welcome to. Could you tell viewers a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Kafayat Bakare. I am a broadcaster. Been doing this for close to 8 years, or more than 8 years now. Graduate of mass communication, radio and television broadcasting from Lagos State University. I am from Lagos State, Okepopo. I'm the last of 5 children. My parents are late. What else? I'm a fitness enthusiast, makeup artist, not anymore. Trained makeup artist anyway, fitness enthusiast, media professional, single. What else? I think that's about it. Else you ask me specific questions.
Okay, that's good to know, Kafayat. All right. All right. So, how did you get into the broadcasting? What got you onto radio?
I have always been a radio lover right from secondary school. I grew up listening to the very best on radio. I was a huge fan of Ike Osakudua, Shola Storm Sing then when it was on Rhythms of the Night. I listened to a lot of, I've forgotten her name. I haven't heard from her in a while, but she was also at Rhythm 93. So I grew up listening to a lot of, veterans in the industry. And I fell in love with radio automatically. And I always told myself, like, if I was going to go to school, because I was at home for a while before I gained admission into the university. I was at home for like 5 years. So the period of being at home, I tried my hands on a lot of things. I acted, I sang, I modeled. That was when I learned how to do makeup. I did a lot of things actually while waiting for admission. And at the point where I'd already given up and thought like, see, I'm just going to learn work rather than, going to school because I've tried and jam kept jamming me every single time. I finally got admission into Lagos State University for the course I've always wanted to study, radio and television broadcasting. And that was just, it. And that was the beginning. Luckily, my school, I had hands-on practical. We had a studio on my campus. That's Lasso Soka Tojolekba. We had a studio. I got friendly with the head of the studio then, and he put me in charge. Well, put me in the radio studio, and I was in charge of editing the projects of the students. So I would edit their audio projects and started practicing a lot. And, that was the beginning for me. Then when I went to serve, I was posted to Abuja, Voice of Nigeria in Abuja. And that was where everything took up for me. When I was posted to Voice of Nigeria in Abuja, I remember specifically they were asking me, what department would you like to work? And I said, I want the presentation department. Just take me there, please. I beg you. Don't put me in news. Just take me to the presentation department. And the way it worked in, Voice of Nigeria in Abuja, that was like a sacred department that they never used to let anybody in, especially coppers. Like a copper has never been allowed into to serve in the presentation department. But I was very, very insistent. And I said, I don't care. Like, I'm going to talk to anybody that I need to talk to. I'm going to work in that department. You understand? So, they were like, the head of the department called me to her office and asked me why I really wanted to, be in the department. I'm like, I've always loved presentation, and I think that this is going to be a perfect training ground for me to start off my career. Like, just try me out. I am willing to learn. I am a very, I'm a very flexible person. I'm open to learn from the professionals and get myself started. And she was like, okay, let her in. I was the first ever copper in the history of Voice of Nigeria to be allowed into the presentation department. And that was a big deal for me. And I started out, and the producers, they were like, I'm not going to give it to this rookie. No, don't give her any script to read. I don't know. Nobody wanted me to voice anything. They literally didn't want me to voice anything at all. And I hate when I'm sitting not doing any, I hate being idle. I hate being idle. I hate when, every other person is working and I'm just sitting and I'm just looking. So I was frustrated at a point. And, I went to meet my mother. I'll never forget her name, Madam Mashadi. And I went to meet Mr. Madam Mashadi. I said, Madam Mashadi, now nobody wants to give me any script to read. Like, I'm just sitting there, I'm not doing anything. And I hate not doing anything because I'm not going to learn if you guys don't put me to work. And she said, okay, you guys should give her today in history to read. So they had like their full bulletin and different programs to do, and this very tiny script of today in history. And I'm like, see, I would take what I can. Anything you give me, I'm gonna take it. So, they gave me the script. I rehearsed the life out of it. Like, these people are not gonna put me to shame. I am going to do this. And the first time I went on air was a disaster. It was a disaster because the nerves got the best part better of me, and I was terrified. I was scared. I mean, every single person in that department was flawless. They were perfect. They were amazing. They spoke really well. They were so eloquent. They were brilliant. They were smart. And I felt like this rookie, no, not, I don't know anything, copper. They're telling me to go on air, So the nerves got the best of me, and I was like, I tried. I messed up. I was really sad. I think I went to a corner and I started crying, and they came to meet me like, calm down now. It's your first time. Like, the next time you get better, just be confident. And the next time I got good, and the next time I got better. And I kept getting better every single time I took the script. And they started giving me more programs to do. And I started voicing more scripts. And even though some people still didn't want me to voice the script because they felt like I wasn't good enough, my boss was totally amazing. She kept giving me, say, come on, would you give her that script? Can't you hear her voice? Can't you this? Can't you that? And that's how people started trusting me with the script. Until one particular lady that didn't just want to give me her script to voice, but her boss forced her to, and I voiced it. She didn't like it. But my boss said she wanted to listen to it. I think it was like a drama script or something, like I was telling a story sort of. And she heard it and she was quiet. She was like, this is so good. Then she called the lady in and said, what's your problem? Why don't you like this girl? What I am listening to, it is so good. And blah, 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 blah. And they ended up letting it go on air. And she, for some reason, she just took a liking to me and she just helped me all the way. Even when they had trainings for just the staff, only the staff. Like, no copper has ever been allowed to go on that training. This woman slipped my name in to go for the professional training, but I didn't get paid because usually they tend to pay their staff for when they go for trainings like that. So I didn't get paid. All I was interested in was the certificate. And that was the beginning of my journey in this industry, basically, in a nutshell.
That's an amazing story to hear. I mean, how you pushed your way, how you pushed the way all through the Voice of Nigeria. Okay, all right. So how long ago was this?
I'm horrible with numbers, but I think this was about, I think it was about 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm horrible with numbers, but about 9, 10 years ago, roughly. Yes. Then when I got back to Lagos, then I went to FRCN because I was advised to go to FRCN for training. So I went to FRCN. After FRCN, I got posted to Rhythm 93.7. When I got Rhythm, I really wanted to work with Omalicha because Omalicha was one person that I admired. Like, she's so real and authentic and smart and just amazing at what she does. And I got the opportunity to work with her, and that was just the beginning.
All right, that's Great to hear. Okay, so over your journey as a broadcaster over the last 8 years, um, why don't we see a lot of women in the broadcasting space? There seems to be a lot of men dominating the broadcasting space as compared to women over men on radio.
It's a male dominated industry, that's for sure, just like what you said. I don't know. I've heard stories from a lot of women in the those who used to be in the industry, and they haven't had the best of experiences, right? Either they're being taken advantage of, or you're not given a fair shot, or even though you're working more than men in the industry, you don't get equal pay. And you just don't see the points in it, anymore. Those who end up being there for a couple of years end up leaving for one reason or the other, either not being treated equally or fairly, or not getting equal pay, or being harassed by men in the industry. I mean, I've gotten to a point, I've had like moments where I wanted to just quit. I think I'm at that point, but I'm slowly slipping out of it again. I always want to just get out because I'm sick and tired of the politics and the unfairness in the workplace, especially towards women. You have someone, a male colleague, where you guys do exactly the same thing. Even you work more than the guy, and you do better, and you know that you're better. But he earns more than you. Why? Because he's a man. And you're like, what's the point? Sometimes you just lose the ginger and the motivation to even want to do anything or put more effort into your work, because you're like, what's the point? I'm not going to get rewarded for anything. I'm not going to be appreciated, or. So what's the point? Why do I have to? So a lot of people just end up, leaving. And I don't blame them. It's a whole lot of politics, very frustrating. Favors, always tilts towards favoring the men than the women, and people expect you that you have to give a little bit more because you're a woman. You have to submit your body to certain things. You want to climb up the ladder. It's just totally ridiculous. So I see the numbers going down more as time goes on, and right now I'm just counting my days till when I step out of the industry as well. So I think I'm also at that point to answer your question.
I mean, this is really quite surprising to hear about equal pay in Nigeria. Okay, okay? I'll play the devil's advocate. Are you saying that men and women in the media industry are not paid
Oh
equally?
no, they're
And
not.
are you sure because it's because of is a man, or just because maybe the man has much more working experience than you?
So I thank you for bringing that up. So when people tell me work experience, I hate when I hear that, right? Your experience matters is of no relevance to me if you are not delivering now, right? So I'll give you a backstory or about a friend. And she was on a show and has been doing the show excellently well alone. And they tell her that they are bringing a Mr. Big Shot that is more popular and has more followers and more experience than her. So she should try as much as possible to walk with him so you guys can do well together. And they kept telling her that he's good, he's been in the industry for 20 years, he's fantastic, he's this, and they just kept blowing the guy's trumpet. And the girl went, okay, no wala, we will work with the guy. And the job starts, and Oga cannot deliver, like, and you can't complain to anybody. He's forgetful, always forgets to load the ads, always forgets the title and the name of the bed, always forgets when you have scheduled program, always forgets every time. He is so lackadaisical when it comes to his work. He doesn't focus, he's not creative, doesn't come up with new ideas. So explain to me the experience, how it's coming to play over someone that is doing the job better than him. But they will favor him because they believe the 20 years that he has is more than you, that you're just a baby in the industry. Do you get it? So experience matters. It does not matter. I respect. See, if you cannot deliver now, I don't care how long you've been in the industry. It doesn't matter to me. It's just numbers, in as far as I'm concerned. If you have been in the industry for 20 years and you come on air now and you are killing it, I'll doff my hat. But if you are telling me that you've been in the industry for 20 years and you know sabi work now and you cannot deliver, I'm gonna forget that. That's total nonsense. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing better than you, 100%. Open the mic, let both of us go head to head. I will knock you off. 8 years versus 20 years. Tell me who's going to win the prize. So it really doesn't matter. And that's what we're suffering as women. I'm just saying.
Okay, that I was just playing the devil's advocate there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
okay, okay. So let's move on forward. You've been in the industry for the last 8 years. Would you advise, I mean, with all the experience you have and the challenges which you've mentioned, and equal pay and all that, would you advise women in in Nigeria, all over Africa, to actually go into broadcasting and give journalism a try?
Oh, yes, I would. Now, one thing I always tell the interns that I tend to work with is if you do not have passion for the job, I beg you, do not attempt it. It's a mentally, um, it's a job that takes a toll on you mentally. And if you don't have the passion for the job, you will tire out at a point. You will. If the love for the job and the passion of the job is not there, I beg of you, do not even try it. Because there are moments, the rule of broadcasting, they say, especially for radio, is the moment you step inside, leave your problems at the door. Don't bring your business into the studio. It's not about you anymore. The moment you step inside the studio, it's not about you. Nobody cares if you lost someone. Nobody cares if you're frustrated. Nobody cares if you're sick. Nobody cares if you're in pain. It's none of their business. At that point, it's all about the listener and what the listener wants. And what the listener wants is they want to be informed, entertained, and that's all they're interested in. Informed, entertained, you know, make them happy. Make them happy. Keep them up to date with happenings around the world. Play them great music. I don't care if you wake up, I don't care if you woke up frustrated or you're sad or they broke up with you or your marriage is in tatters. Nobody gives a hoot. That's the thing about the industry. I remember there was a time a friend of mine was telling me that, she lost a family member of hers a day, like the morning before she went on air. And she still went on air. She got news that her sister died and she went on air. Nobody cares. So again, when I say if you don't have passion and love for the job and you are not focused and you're not a professional, it will be hard for you to put and emotional intelligence also comes to play. If you don't know how to package your emotions and put it aside, you will not excel in the job because the pressure of the job can make you lose your mind sometimes. Sometimes when people come into the studio when I'm doing my job and they say, how do you always stay energetic? And I answer them, I really don't know, honestly. The moment the mic comes on, the energy finds its way into my body. The mic goes off, I get back to my normal self. So sometimes they look at me in the camera in the studio, like, I don't understand your mood, madam. Mic is on, you're all over the place and you're jumping and your energy is, way up. And the moment the mic goes down, I'm just like this in the studio. And so you need to know exactly have a full understanding of what the job entails. Emotional intelligence. You need to know how to pack your emotions aside and know when it's time for work, do the job. If you want to cry after, if your boyfriend broke up with you, cry when you're off air. You understand? If you're having any issue, when you get out of the studio, you can go and cry. But once that mic is on, you got to deliver 100%. Nobody cares. And that's what a lot of these newbies in the industry, they don't know. Nobody cares. I remember when I lost my mom, that's the worst time of my life. And I was giving like 5 days. I think it was 5 days. After 5 days, my HOD started calling me, asking me, when are you coming to work? And I was so miserable and frustrated. I'm like, don't you have a heart, for goodness sake? I just lost my mom, the only living parent that I had left. They didn't care. They didn't care. I had to show up. So nobody cares. I'm emphasizing nobody cares. So if you know that you want to get into this industry, ensure that you love this job to bits, you are passionate about it, and you're emotionally smart and intelligent enough to know when to, put this one aside, face the work, do your job, understand the behind the scene politics. People think it's about going on air and chatting away. A whole lot of what goes on behind the scene determines your success in the industry. One, understand the power players in your office, the decision makers in your office. Get close to them. Good relationship at the workplace, especially in this industry, is 100% key. And people tell me that I'm just a typical Yoruba girl that no, forget. It took a while. It took me fighting a couple of people and being written up a couple of times to understand how things work. When you get into an office and you get into a media house, study every character. Know who the orgas are. Know there are some lower players that actually have pull at the work. Do not overlook the cleaners. Do not overlook the receptionists. Do not overlook the secretary. Those guys get power. So understand those behind the scene. Know the power players. Have good relationship with everybody that you work with. You don't have to be friends. You don't have to be friends. But at least have a cordial, friendly relationship with everybody. Greet people. It will not remove one hair. Greet people from the security to the secretary to the gatesman to the cleaner. Greet people. You never know when they come in handy to help you. It doesn't end on air with the mic. There's a whole lot that goes on behind the scene. The guys in charge of adverts, the marketers, they are in charge of your money. You have to be friendly with everybody. That's one thing I have learned. And I say, if I'm going to train everybody, if I'm going to train anyone who wants to come into the industry, I'm not going to teach you how to speak English or how to pronounce words or how to speak well or how to be creative. I will train you on the behind the scene and how to relate well with people and know the people to get close to and how to behave and how to, how to respond to tough situations, how to work under pressure. When you're being written up for something, when you're being constantly brought down and saying that your ratings is not good, how to respond. It's a whole lot that is being neglected. Do you understand? Working behind the scene. And that's what I would like to train people on. So again, if you want to go into the industry, go, but ensure that you have passion for the work. I know I've talked a lot.
Okay, Kafaya, that's interesting to hear. That's a lot. That's a whole course you just mentioned. You just ran through. I hope people are listening. Okay, so what's the future for Kafayat?
Ah, Kafayat. I love radio. I really still want to do radio on the side. The way it's looking right now, I think I'm tired, but I want to do it on the side. I want to go to TV broadcasting, go on television, have my own show. I love, weird enough, I love news reading. So I might end up being a newscaster at a point. Because I did a lot of news reading in other places that I've worked. So that is something I'm totally interested in. Going on television for sure, having my own show. I'm a fitness enthusiast. I would like to have my own gym, train people. I used to be a dance fitness trainer. So I hope to get back at it. After adding a lot of weight, I kind of just, you know, lost my way. So I'm trying to find my way back because fitness is something I'm really passionate about as well. So for now, that's what I know. That it's in the future for me. I don't know what God's plan is. I plan, but God is the master planner. So I trust his ways and his journey and believe that at the end of the day, we're gonna blow.
Definitely, you're gonna blow. Okay, so so as we round up the show, um, what's your advice to women out there in Nigeria, in Africa, who wake up every morning thinking it's a man's world, they're frustrated, just like you said, you're getting tired of all the politics and all that. What's your advice to women out there?
Don't give up. Don't give up. You would fall a couple, not most times, at different times, but don't give up. Don't stay down. Never stay down. They will knock you off a couple of times, issues, pressure. You would get tired, you get frustrated, but never stay down. Have your own money. Have your money. Empower yourself. Learn a skill. Do something for yourself. There is nothing like having your own as a woman. You will have mouth to talk. Any room you enter, that respect that you're self-made, that you got your own. You do not rely on any man for anything. Whatever it is that you want to do in this life, but please do not just sit flat on your behind and expect a man to take care of you. It will get tough at some point. It will get tough at some, timing sometimes, but never stay down. Keep pushing yourself. Build a beautiful relationship with God, because at the end of the day, He is the beginner and the finisher of all things. And trust Him in all that you do and put Him first. And all the things that you do, God will bless the work of your hands and bless your efforts. And, trust God, never give up, don't stay down, have your own as a woman.
All right.
All
Thank you
right.
very much,
Thank you very much,
Kafayat. Thanks for
Kafayat.
coming on the
Thanks for
show.
coming on the show.
It's been
It's
lovely
Thank
been
having you.
lovely
you.
having you.
We look
Thank
forward
We look
you.
forward to
talking to you again
talking
in
to you
the
again
future.
in the future.
By God's grace. God bless you.
Yeah.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.